I just want to remind people of what I'm now calling Matthew's mantra. It's 4 sentences, and I like to keep this top of mind for people. Make a promise, keep your word, change your life, transform the world. That summarizes for me the power of making a promise. You make the promise, and you have to keep your word, obviously. You can change your life because you've set this goal in effect, and in many cases it can be life-changing. And you can help to transform the world because the more and more people who achieve more through this process, they accomplish more, they achieve their goals, they feel more empowered, the world becomes transformed as a result of the cumulative effect of all of these promises. And maybe the bigger the promises become as people become more empowered and feel they can achieve more. So sometimes I say, with a promise, you can believe more in your ability, you can achieve more, and in effect, you will receive more of what the universe has to offer you. So that's part of what this is all about. I like to share stories of promises made and kept. And I don't think I've shared this on the program before. I'll just mention this just to get sort of in the spirit of what this is all about. This is a promise that was made back in 1987 by Oral Lee Brown, who made what I think everyone would agree was pretty audacious, and it was an audacious promise. And she's described this promise in a book called, appropriately enough, called The Promise. It was published in 2005. And Oral Lee Brown tells the story that in 1987, she walked into a classroom, an elementary school classroom in East Oakland out in California, apparently a tough neighborhood, and she looked at what she said was 23 first graders, and she looked at them and had this kind of a spontaneous desire to make a promise to them, and she promised that if they stayed in school and they got through high school, that she would send them all to college. She would pay for them to go to college, 23 students. And she had no idea how she was going to do that. And afterwards, I think she says in the book that she didn't even tell her family for a little while. She wasn't rich, but she made that promise. It was life-changing. She began to raise money. So she changed her life so she could raise money to send these 23 kids to college, and she did it. She sent them all to college, and so she wrote a book about it, and the subtitle of the book is How One Woman Made Good on Her Extraordinary Pact to Send a Classroom of First Graders to College. Oral Lee Brown, the book is called The Promise, and that's pretty amazing, and that's the kind of thing that's the kind of power that you can get when you make a promise.